We're so honored to have Mark Kotwa and Aries Tan this morning with us on the LITE Breakfast. They are parents of Carmen Mark, who is an organ donor. Can you just tell us a little bit more about your daughter, Carmen?
Well, she's a very obedient, disciplined, and well-managed child. She grew up with me when she was 3 years old after I divorced, and she tagged along with me, and she's pretty smart and intelligent. And most of all, she has a big heart. I think it must be due to the divorce, and she matured beyond her age actually. She acts like an adult actually.
And so you were a single father for most of the parts of Carmen's life.
Yeah, on and off. Yeah, I had a failed marriage, and she ended up tagging along with me.
Okay. And we understand that you wanted her to be an accountant, but she went to nursing school instead.
Yeah, I always wanted her to be an accountant, so that I don't want to have she had a tough career, like you have long hours, and but she has an ambition to become a nurse since she was in primary school. Every time when they have an essay about her ambition, it's always nurse, 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 nurse. I even sold my house to finance the study after her Form 5, but she quietly applied for scholarship from Nanyang Poly. And one of the reasons that she wanted to become a nurse, being a nurse, she can take care of me when I'm old. Yeah, that's the reason.
Okay. But Mark, tell us about life before you married Aries, when it was just you and Carmen. Was that tough being a single dad?
Yeah, it's pretty tough, especially during my second marriage. Actually, I married Aries is my current wife, my third wife. I had a better second marriage where I was posted to Philippines for some time, and she was abused, and she bear with it, and she didn't even bother to tell me what happened because she knew that I need to work, and she kept it to herself until my godmom found out about it, and I went for the second divorce, and well, she was having a tough time at that time, and I refrained myself on getting to know or start any other relationship after that. And I met Aries later on, and I asked Carmen if she wanted to join us for a date. This is the first time I'm bringing Aries to see my family members. And she said, okay. Then right after that, she said, Daddy, please tackle that JJ. Like her, and I wanted to become mommy. And the rest is history. It's full of sweet memories. They kiss and hug each other every night before bed, and they say, "I love you, mommy. I love you." Talk to each other every day until she departed to Singapore on April 2015.
How
Yeah,
old was Carmen then?
when I get to know Aries,
Yes.
12, yeah, 12 years old.
Okay. Now, Aries, tell us about the first time Carmen called you mommy.
Oh, okay.
How did that feel?
Okay, I think I should start when Mark, the first time she wanted me to see his family. So I expected actually is parents or either sibling, right? But actually it's not. It's end up is Carmen. So from that moment on, I know how important this little girl to him. So thereafter, our days will be three of us, always.
Yeah. Oh, so you didn't know that he was a single dad?
Yeah. For the first dad, I already know he's a single dad.
Oh.
He told me everything about his ex-marriage and also Carmen. Even before I meet Carmen, I feel this little girl is very kind-hearted, very sweet. Yeah. So after we getting married, so I told Carmen, you shouldn't call me Jeje anymore because otherwise she call me Jeje means sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I tell her you couldn't call you could call me either Mama, Mimi, or even Auntie, but eventually she chose to call me Mommy. So I really love and care her as my own.
So you have a very close relationship
Yeah,
with
very
Carmen
close, very close. Yes.
from the start. Yeah.
Yes, from the start.
Okay. So Carmen left for Singapore to pursue her studies. What happened to Carmen in Singapore?
Carmen arrived in Singapore on April 2015 to study nursing at Nanyang Poly and under the scholarship of National Heart Center of Singapore. Barely 3 months later, on July 3rd, she collapsed suddenly while having lunch in school and was rushed to Tan Tock Seng Hospital in Singapore. It turned out she had a rare undetected congenital defect known as AVM, a type of abnormal angle of wall blood vessel that causes a rupture. It's like a stroke. It's kind of one in a million. And yeah, she was unlucky and she collapsed and she was put into ICU.
She didn't show any symptoms at all while growing up.
Oh, none. She's a hyperactive and she like extreme sports and yeah, never before. She's so healthy. She never before fallen sick or shows any symptoms.
So how did you feel when you heard that news? Like, did you think that it was that serious?
I was working on a rooftop when I received a call from the guardian angel of Carmen, which is a friend of my wife, Ariess' wife, Ariess' friend. And she told me that she needed to sign a consent for a major brain operation. And I gave her the consent immediately, and I called my best friend by the name of Dr. Sek Faisal. Dr. Sek Faisal was attached with the kid, Colin Medical Center, and the wife is actually Dr. Sharifa, the neuro head of Sultanah Bahia. I immediately called Sek. Sek is my best friend since primary one, and I called him and asked his wife, and I started to cry when I was briefed, the seriousness of the medical condition. I started to cry and I couldn't do anything. And I hopped in my car, I called my wife, I said, get a ticket, fly to Singapore immediately. And yeah, it's serious and I had a total breakdown. I jumped down from the roof. I was working on a 2-story roof. I jumped down. I didn't get myself hurt. My workers were shouting, boss, why are you jumping? I need to rush and yeah, I couldn't even control myself.
Okay. Now, when you got to Singapore, then what happened?
When I was in Singapore, the neurosurgeons, every one of them, they told us that it is impossible for us to save her. And I just couldn't give up on her as yet. So I contacted Dr. Sharifa and a doctor, Dr. Mahindran. He's retired. He's in UK now. He's a neuro head of Tan Tock Seng Hospital, which happened to be my best friend's doctor. And we had conference almost every day with the doctors, try to find ways how to save her. But unfortunately, she didn't make it through.
How many days was that of?
It was in total 25 days, but on the 19th day,
on the 5th.
She actually, at one point, she actually managed to get up from ICU when she actually wake up from ICU on
On the
the
third day.
on the third day, I think.
Third day.
Yeah, on the third day, we were so happy, and the doctor was so happy. Instead of giving her up, she looked like she's going to survive. And I flew back to Malaysia because the medical fees in Singapore is pretty much costly for us Malaysians. So I planned with doctors in Malaysia to airlift her back to Malaysia. And she even hold my hand. She likes dogs. She likes dogs. She likes husky. But unfortunately, I stay in the condo at the time, so you can't rent husky. I think so. I grabbed her hand. I said, "Come on, please wake up. If you wake up, then I'll go back to the bank and get you a husky. Do you want it?" And she actually grabbed my hand and she did. And I saw there's a tiny light at the time. But unfortunately, she suffered a seizure later on and it hit the brainstem. And she was pronounced brain dead on the 26, 27 by the doctors. And yeah, and I know that when she was declared brain dead, there's nothing much I can do. But I can still fulfill her wish to donate her organs away. And I called Dr. Syed. I said, Syed, Carmen wanted to donate her organs away. What do you think? And Dr. Syed said, Mark, by all means, do it. So that's what happened then.
She was only 18 at the time, wasn't she?
Yeah, she's only 18.
And when did she tell you her intention of donating her organs?
Well, I'm a building contractor. I pledged my organs long time ago, if I'm not mistaken, 25 years ago. And I used to remind Ariess and Carmen, if anything were to happen to me, please donate my organs away so you can save lives. We may need an organ someday. We never know. That's true. And any one of us here in this room, we are subject to all these needs in future. It might happen to any one of us or somebody that we love. So, giving the life to others is a awesome thing, right? Don't you think so?
But at any point in time, you felt like maybe I shouldn't separate my daughter's organs from her body?
I have an obligation as a father to her to fulfill what she wants. She told me before, she was 16 back then. I told her that, remember this and that, you have to donate my organs away. And she said the same thing, Daddy, I want to do the same thing. If anything were to happen to me, please donate my organs. She's underage at that time, and she can't sign on her behalf, actually. But she did say so to me. Even though it's not in writing, I felt that I'm obliged to compel to her wish as a father.
Well, after the transplant in Singapore, and she actually helped 5 different recipients.
It's 8 actually.
How many? 8?
Yeah, the first reported was 5, and later on we were informed by the hospital. It's in total 8 person actually survived.
Wow.
The kidney goes to 2 person actually.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
You must feel so blessed.
Yeah. Well, I always have a feeling that she's still around. She's still around to me, definitely. She's still around. At least she's not completely 100% gone. She's living on 8%, that walking around, doing good things, especially the heart recipient. I believe the heart recipient is doing a lot of good things on behalf of Carmen, actually.
Yeah. Now tell us about, after you put your daughter to rest, you actually put out a post on Facebook, like a request on Facebook.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that request?
Yeah. It was a YouTube video shared by Carmen, nursing maid in Singapore. And she shared with me because she knew that I cried every night. I cried for 3 years. Every night I cried. And I used to post articles on organ donation. And I posted this video about an American named Bill Connors. The daughter died in 2017, and he donated the organs away, and he got the opportunity to meet up with the recipient. And by cycling 1,400 miles to Louisiana, and then there's a reunion with a stethoscope given to him to hear the heartbeat. So I shared the video, and I write few words, how I wish. And I didn't know that Serene has been the heart recipient. She has been following me for the past 2 years. And when she saw the post, I think she cried, and she sent me a message asking me if I'm willing to meet up with her so that she can let me hear my daughter's heartbeat.
You know, I didn't realize that the recipients know who they are receiving the organs from.
No, we are not allowed to know.
You are not allowed to know who receives the organs, but the recipients, do they know?
They don't know. They were not allowed to know. Except the funny part, the so-called coincidence, maybe fated, and Carmen was a nursing scholar sponsored by National Heart Center, and Serene is a heart patient, and she says she's a patient at the National Heart Center of Singapore. So Singapore is a very small island, and after Carmen passing, her news came out on News Time Singapore, and this lady actually saw. So, well, Singapore is it's very easy for them to track, who passed away yesterday, this and that, and she knew about it. And because of she's with National Heart Center of Singapore actually.
Okay.
Right.
So Serene sort of put two and two together and realized that her heart was Carmen's.
Right.
Yeah, when she knew about me right immediately after Carmen passing, in fact I posted twice actually. The video that I told you was the second video. The first video I posted similar, and she wanted to contact me, but her friends and relatives said, no, we better go and see Mark. Okay? They don't know my background, they don't know who I am. Then she stopped approaching me, but she kept on looking at my Facebook, and of course she saw up before Carmen passing and after Carmen passing. We have been visiting homes actually, orphanage quite often. So she saw my activities, and on the second post, she felt that if I will see Mark won't be asking for money or what, right? So that's how she contacted me actually.
Okay. So how did she contact you? Like she wrote you a message on Facebook, did she?
Yeah, she sent a message to my Facebook, and I shared with Steve yesterday, and asking me if I'm willing to see her. I said yes, and if you want to see me, why don't we publicize this reunion so that we can help to create more awareness on organ donation? She was reluctant at the beginning because Singapore, the Secrecy Act and a lot of things they have to consider. But I have a lot of lawyers friends. I was lucky in a way. So I consulted them, and if she's willing and I'm willing, and we break the barrier of Secrecy Act, and we decided to meet up. And I actually approached a government agency for a place for the event, since I'm giving talks to hospital, GH. So they allow, and the event was organized by state government. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right. So what happened the first time you met Serene Lee?
Well, it was. I was speechless when I met her at Komta actually, and when we first met, Aries has a privilege. She gave Aries the first hug, and I was standing behind. And after they are done with the hugging, and she came to me and she hugged me. Exactly the same as the way Carmen hugged me. Carmen will hug me every day, hug Aries every day and every night before she go to school, before she go to bed. We hug each other, kiss each other, and we say good, I love you, you know. And Serene did just that actually. And every time she go to see me in Penang or in Singapore, the first thing she's gonna do, she's gonna hug me.
There's a piece of your daughter in there.
The feel is somehow rather there.
Yeah. Well, this is actually Carmen's heartbeat in Serene Lee's body.
Hopefully you heard that.
How did you feel when you first heard it?
Aries cried, and I tried to pacify her. I cried too, but that's deep in my heart. I hear sound of loving kindness. Well, maybe it's a blessing to me. Carmen is still around, and so, and she want me and wants Serene to continue where she left behind. Hearing her heart is just like a call to me to move on without her and to continue what she left behind together with Serene. I stopped crying after I heard of her heartbeat actually. The first 2 years, it was like a daily affair, morning, evening, before the bed. And I stopped crying after hearing the heartbeat actually.
Mm. Why? Did it give you a sense of peace?
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt that she's still alive, except this a tiny heart and Serene, and wow, you just imagine. Serene is a volunteer, is a patient support group chairman, and she's been helping a lot of people in the National Heart Center of Singapore.
Mm.
I felt that Carmen is with her right now, doing the service as a nurse, and I feel so blessed that I met Serene and I had this daughter, Carmen Mark.
Mark, why do you think organ donation is so important?
Oh, I hope this is not happening to anyone, but just imagine Serene has got 3 children. Without the heart, she could be, she may not live long, and what's going to happen to the kids? And the significant thing about our donation is we can give life to others. And anyhow, when we die, we donate our organs according to the religious practice. You cremate it, and put underneath the earth. It doesn't benefit anyone. Well, I think if we can do it, like what I did, we can have a more loving world, and like Serene, like the kidney recipient, her name was Tasrina Tahir. She sent card to me. She is a mother of 3. She couldn't be able to work in Singapore on dialysis, and she survived now and she can work, and I pray that the family is doing well. Well, isn't it a wonderful thing? I'm not a big time man, but God only gives us a certain period in life. God won't let us live for 150 years. God only gives us 100 years. And we only have this short period to do good things, little good things, little good deed. I think every one of us has a gift of life in ourselves. So gifting is not a bad thing to do. I like doing it and I enjoy doing it, and I think that's what Carmen wanted me to do right now.
Yeah. But what is your message to people who are afraid to donate their organs?
Well, if you were to read about Carmen Mark's story, they won't feel afraid anymore, and that, well, you can become an angel by donating your organs away. Why not?
Yeah. Do good and leave a legacy, right?
Yeah,
Paying it forward.
yeah, we can
Now,
do that. Yeah,
Now,
yes.
Mark and Aries, I mean, no one wants to see their child pass away before them, but this has happened to the both of you. So, what is your message to parents who might be experiencing similar heartaches?
I hope this is not happening to any parents along after me. It's heartbreaking, and I cry every single day. And I feel that, in fact, I got a very good advice from Dr. Side, my close friend. Tuhan lagi sayang kat Carmen because we communicate Malay. God's love her more. That's the only message that I can pass on, and stay strong and talk to people. I talk to people. I was lucky, and Aries besides me, and yeah, we encourage each other, and I didn't give up. So I may not have my next generation to worry. We don't have any child, and well, don't give up and stay strong.
Aries, how about you? How did you support Mark through it all? I know you were hurting as well.
Yeah, we'll always stand by him. Okay, wherever he was down. Actually, when he cried, I cried too. Yeah, we just support each other.
Support each other through the pain. Yeah.
Wow.
Does the pain ever go away?
I think it will never. It will never. But it is a sweet thing actually. We cry tears of joy maybe.
Well, I guess, like you said, Carmen still lives on in 8 different people, and she has helped make a difference in all these people's lives, because otherwise they might not have lived on fulfilling lives. So I think it's a great thing that your whole family has done, and yeah, more people should come forward and donate their organs.
Yeah, I fully agree with that.
Mark and Aries, thank you so much for sharing. It's a very painful story, but thank you so much for telling your story as well.
Yeah, thank you for having us. And we are glad that you guys are doing this, and this kind of arrangement should be encouraged. Actually, you guys did a good job. I'm all out of organ donation, so thumbs up for you guys.
All right, thank you.
Thanks so much,
Let's
guys.
take a quick picture before we let you go.